Mirror, mirror on the wall, who are the best shoppers of them all? Will it be the Reds? Will it be the Blues? We'll find out in this 60-minute action-packed special. Let's go!
To find 3 items to sell at auction, and the winners will be the team that make the fattest profit or the slimmest loss.
But today we've changed the rules slightly, because we're not asking the experts to buy 1 bonus buy, but 2 to take to auction. And then I'll discuss with them which one I think will bring the biggest profit. But which one will the teams choose, and will I get it right? Here's a quick glimpse as to what's coming up.
Find out who wears the trousers in the old red team, eh?
Get it now. The lady's spoken.
But if it loses...
Get it now. He'll take it now. Take the lady's hand.
And comedy sound effects for the Blues. But will they have the last laugh?
This is more fun than I think I've had in years.
And stay tuned for the auction as the bargain hunt lots go under the hammer.
120, 130.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Time to meet the teams.
Well, we have 2 teams today who have interests in common, and that interest is farming. Stuart and Nicola, our married couple, have an interest in breeding rare breeds, and Margaret and Ina are farmers' wives.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Lovely
Hello,
to see you.
Tim.
Now, Stuart, tell us about these rare breeds.
The Scottish rare breeds. I keep Eriskay ponies and Shetland cattle. Eriskay pony is a wonderful, beautiful, normally grey pony that comes from the furthest island in the Hebrides, the island of Eriskay, and there's only 15 stallions in the world.
Gosh, that's a shortage then, isn't it?
And to compare, there's 1,400 giant pandas, and they're supposed to be rare.
Now, you were a club musician. You were a pianist, were you?
I was a pianist. I became a Butlins redcoat to get a good grounding in entertainment. Then I went to become Lonnie Donegan's keyboard player and singing harmony, so I had to sing down my nose, like harmony, 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 harmony.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
One forgets, doesn't one?
Yeah.
The singing down the nose technique.
Yeah. In the old days, I used to work at a major nightclub, people like the Drifters, Gene Pitney. I used to back those. I still keep my hand in, and I'm doing a sound production, HNC, at the grand old age of 64.
Brilliant. Now, Nicola, you're keen on the rare breeds, but you like to write, though, don't you?
Yes, I'm an aspiring author, and I'm just waiting to be discovered.
And
So,
what's your current production?
my current production is Hippity Hop.
Is it?
Yes, it's a story about a little frog.
Would this be for children?
Yes.
Right.
And I've got a wonderful guy who I work with who's done some illustrations for me as well. So I am going to be the next J.K. Rowling.
Are you?
I am indeed.
Modest ambition. Now, what floats your boat when it comes to the antiques in between you?
I want to buy something that's like little and intricate, a little bit quirky.
Right.
Just a little bit different.
OK, so are you going to spend all your cash?
Well, I was brought up in my early life in a village called Kirkconnell, a mining village, and we learnt to be very, very, very careful with money indeed.
Oh, right. So...
I'm going to spend it for him, don't worry.
Oh, all right. OK, fine. We've got the usual happily married split.
It's democracy.
Now, Margaret, tell me, how did you and Ina first meet?
Well, Tim, we actually met through the Young Farmers Clubs. Our husbands were farmers, and we entered all the competitions and had great fun.
How many years have you been friends for?
A long time. 40, 50 years now. We've been on holidays together with the families, and we've just grown up together.
Isn't that lovely?
It is. It's very
Very
nice.
good.
Yes.
What sort of farming were you both involved in then?
Well, I really was mainly arable and did some beef cattle. And I did a lot of the book work. I left all the physical work to my husband outside.
Yeah, quite right. What about you, Ina? What sort of farming were you
Our
involved
farm
in?
is still involved with sheep and cattle, and also pigs, but the pigs were basically for my pleasure, because I love pigs. And my husband allowed me to have a couple of sows.
Apart from the farming lark, you're also keen on curling.
Yes.
And you've been champions, you two, haven't you?
Well,
Quietly.
Yes, we've done very well. We formed our own team, and we were invited to all these competitions all over Scotland, to all the ice rinks. This was in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And we won quite a few competitions, and quite a lot. And we actually reached the Scottish finals a few times.
What fun, anyway. So do you collect things connected with curling?
Yes, right.
Yes, yeah, we've
We've
curling.
got quite a few curling stones
Stones.
and trophies and various other things.
So what sort of things are you going to collect today in the way of antiques?
Well, we like old farming antiques. Or gardening. I quite like old gardening antiques.
What about you, Ina? What are you going to go for, darling?
Well, if I saw anything to do with pigs, I mean, I just
Really?
love pig collection.
Now, here we go, £300
Thank
apiece.
you.
£300. You know the rules. Your experts await, and off you go. And very, very, very good luck. I'm keen on pigs too.
And now, time to meet the experts. Keeping the Reds in line, it's Catherine Southern. And who's in charge of the Blues? Aye, aye, it's Paul Laidlaw.
You are sportswomen, are you not? Curlers.
Yes,
Yeah?
that's correct.
By this.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Are you competitive on the back of that? Or are we
Very
in
much
this?
so, very much so.
Are we going to spend lots today?
We are going to spend £225.50.
Oh, she's very exact, isn't she?
spend £50. It's a democracy.
Right, we're off.
We're off.
We better start.
And as the teams are let loose on the Highland Centre, they'll need to listen to the advice of their experts, as this antiques fair is huge.
Plenty here.
But before we've even got started, Stuart thinks he's back at his holiday camp.
Got look here.
OK, enough fun for now. Time to concentrate. Time to pipe down.
Stuart,
Yes.
I found my first buy.
Go on, let me see.
Have you? What have you found? Oh, what is that? Like a clay pipe, is that?
clay
It is a half a clay pipe without the rest of the stem.
So we've got a 19th century clay pipe. It's been chopped off at some point, but we have still got a name on that, which is quite nice. It looks like it says Fiole, El Fiole. Doesn't mean anything to me, I'm afraid. But he has got a nice little doggy face, hasn't he? Although his eyes do look a bit wonky to me.
Yes, his eyes are wonky, but he's just such a character. Yeah, how can you look at that face and not love it? And not want it?
Do we know the price?
No, no, no.
But we're having it.
I don't know. No, because as I was told,
May I
it's a
ask how much
democracy.
it is?
To a good how £5, please.
£5. I'd like him, please.
You may have him.
Thank you, thank you.
I do think
Shake hands, Sam.
she's not one to be argued with, is she?
No, definitely
I did,
not.
no,
I
no,
did get
he
that
is-
impression.
Did you see me shaking?
He's
I'm
just
shaking.
so beautiful. That's
Yes,
what I
you're
wanted.
right.
So
He's
it's
lovely.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much. I that is going to
He certainly is.
And we'll find out which home the Boxer Dog pipe is going to later at auction. Now, what have our curling farmers' wives got their eyes on?
It's a cutlery drawer.
Yes, that's
Or
correct.
tray.
Yes, that's right.
I think that's walnut or mahogany. The
Yes.
base I can tell is actually softwood, it's pine or deal. But for me, it's all this decorative fretwork here that elevates it. It's a Georgian one, that's going to be
It's
about
old.
200 year
Yes.
old.
Yes, it doesn't look as if there's many.
Things wrong with it.
Can we lift it?
See, that you're going about it the right way. It's all about defects, isn't it? What's the
Yes.
Achilles
Yes.
heel if it's there?
Yes,
Could you live with that? I mean, would that go in a
Yes,
farmhouse?
it would,
I think it would.
certainly.
Yes, it's very
Beautiful.
much like our
Yes.
farmhouse, what you would use in your
Yeah.
cutlery drawers, you know?
Yeah, no, I do like it as
Price
well.
on that is
Yes.
£75, and it's probably worth their auction as little as £40, you know.
Yes, yes.
So do you,
So if we wanted it,
What do you think?
there'd be a job of work to be done.
And while the Blues decide how much to offer for the cutlery tray, Stuart has found something that reminds him of home.
This is like Morphin wear.
It is Muffling Way, because I'm from close to there.
It's quite nice. We've got the Albert Memorial in Edinburgh on the back. And then this is like a little photo album.
Unfortunately,
It's
the
not in
pages
great
are a bit
condition, yeah.
poor
You've
condition.
got this one though, Stuart, which actually has photographs in it,
Yeah,
but it
they're-
hasn't got a
I
clasp.
love them, but to resell,
I
it's
do think-
personal to,
yeah,
you know,
I do
person,
think
yes.
they're going to...
if it had dogs in it, then
Oh, well, then she'd be well away, wouldn't she?
Back to the Blues, and has Paul managed to cut a deal on the cutlery tray?
She's been really generous. She said 45.
45?
Oh, I think it's close.
I think
Yes,
I
I think
it's worth it. I do.
that is
Working for you.
farmhouse material. I think that's
Yeah,
great.
I like it.
Farming.
I'm sensing we might have done something here,
Yeah,
have
yes,
we?
I
like
agree.
it.
Yes?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So, deal done, £45 paid and one buy apiece. Now, Nicola has got her teeth into something which is not what it seems.
That is a piece of scrimshaw, and that is a fake
I was going to
piece
say
of scrimshaw.
yes.
And the reason you know it, one of the reasons is that it's incredibly heavy. So this is supposed to be a piece of whale's tooth.
I know, yeah.
A whale's tooth that has been engraved. But if it was a proper tooth, then it would have a really deep gorge inside. One of the telltale signs as well is the scene on it.
Yes.
Here we've got cowboys.
Indians, yeah.
Traditionally, we'd have a whaling scene. This is totally the wrong scene.
Right,
Go-
it's wrong.
Put it back.
You're wrong.
And as the Reds dump the dud, the Blues are looking for a brew.
The kettle.
I think that's a sweet little spirit
Yeah,
kettle. I
yeah,
mean, it
kettle's
really
lovely,
is.
yeah.
Sitting in a basket rather than on a stand.
Yeah,
it's quite nice.
And the quality of the rattan, see the
Yes.
split cane
Yeah.
binding to the handle. I reckon that's a late Victorian one. I think you're looking at 1890 there.
Well, yes,
It's actually
What do you
rather
think, Margaret?
sweet.
Do you think it's silver? Or
No,
is it,
no,
it's-
I am absolutely
it's-
confident that's going to be plate.
On plate.
At auction, 30 to 50, 40 to 60.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no money. I mean,
Yes.
it's crazy money.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. £70. I mean, it's that's what I'm saying. It's crazy money for what you get.
Hard to sell at auction.
Yeah. Well,
I think we could come back maybe.
I think we should move
I think
on.
it's a policy.
Aye, we'll come back.
Okay.
So, as the Blues go cool on the kettle, the Reds' resident musician has found something of note.
They are very, very collectible, older harmonicas. but
that's the Highlander.
That's it.
That's too much, isn't
Yes,
it?
but they are
£58.
tremendously collectible.
It's nice that it's in its original case as well.
And it's got its instructions with it still.
It's not
in
very
German.
old, is it?
Die Honor Highlander Munt Harmonica. If it was about £20, there would be I think there'd be a slight profit in it, but at 58.
Well, that's the ticket price. We might be able to negotiate something. It's in lovely condition. I don't think that's ever been played with.
Am I allowed to blow it?
Yes, sir.
Just made it. It was just to see all the reeds with it. Can I ask you a very rude question?
Oh.
Would you be prepared to drop a lot on this?
I could go to 30 and that would be it. There you are, and then you
I
can.
can't do it, but it's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
I
Would
really
you do
do.
22?
Could do 25.
If you do it 24, if it fetches 25, I've made £1.
Okay, 24.
What do you think? Do you like it?
It's not something that I would pick up and go, wow, like
No.
myself.
Because I'm fighting an opposition,
No,
would
no,
you
no.
mind holding it for about 30 minutes?
Get it now.
The lady spoke.
But if it loses
Get it now. You'll take it now. Take the lady's hand.
She's so feisty.
You're telling me.
There we go.
Happy?
Yes.
Right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Now we're heading for the halfway mark, and it's my turn to find something at the fair.
This frame makes this picture look as if it might have been painted in about 1965, which is when the frame was prepared. Also, it's filthy dirty. So the best thing you can do if you come across a period picture like this is to take it out of the frame. There we go, look. That is the frame dispensed with, and it immediately looks a lot better. What you have to admire about this picture is the freshness of its condition. It is as highly coloured as it was the day it was painted, I reckon, around 1820. And this is the typical picture that you would expect to find hanging in a Scottish hunting lodge. And the way that the birds themselves have been painted is quite extraordinarily good. The feathers on this wood pigeon are practically imperceptible. It is as if you could sense the softness of that bird. We have to admire the artist's skills. And very modestly, he signed this watercolour, tucked away in the corner, look, P. Syme. That is Patrick Syme, who was around from the 1770s until his death in 1845. As to how commercial it is, even though it's beautifully painted, the subject lets it down. Collections of dead birds are not exactly incredibly fashionable. But there is a market for this artist. In fact, quite recently, a similar watercolour sold for over £1,000. And therefore, I got quite excited when I found it down the other end of this hall for sale for £160. It's what I call a dead cert.
Ah, time to catch up with the teams to see how they're making out.
They're my two new favourite people in the world. They're just a joy, bouncing off one another, relaxed but assertive. They each know what they like and they're prepared to say, well, I'm no sure.
So while confidence is running high in the blue camp, over with the Reds, tension is creeping in.
I'm having terrible trouble getting Catherine moving. She keeps standing at one stall.
So do you.
We've only seen half the fair. There's a whole 2 rows to go down. Catherine, come in.
I'll think
He's
about
trying
that.
to find a special thing for us.
Is he like this at home?
I do apologise for him.
I'm not a doggy.
Quite right. So back to the shop, and our red team of rare cattle breeders seem to have more time for dogs.
It's a 1940s
Pyjama case.
Yeah.
Pyjama case? No time for snoozing.
I don't think night dress holders are all the rage
No.
at the moment. Maybe wrong.
And as the cattle breeders look at doggy stuff, our curlers are gearing up for golf.
Are you a golfer, married to a golfer?
Yes, we are, yes. I golf a little, my husband's a golfer.
What not to like? Early 20th century silver, I suspect George V. I can see that even with the naked eye, I can see the marks on the bowl. These lovely little golf club shafts and terminals. What are they worth? £50?
Do you think
50,
spoons sell
60?
well, do they?
I think if they were common or garden silver coffee spoons at the moment, £30. But with the golf, double that.
What's he said?
65.
And they're in there. It looks as though it's an original box. Do you
I think you're right.
Yes.
If you could get another £10 off, you're not going to go far wrong.
Hi.
Hello.
Now, we like the spoons.
We like your spoons.
But we're wondering if you could maybe come down a wee bit more than what you were saying.
We had 95, we're leaving the new at 65.
Could you come down another 10?
I tell you, we'll split it, come down to 60. And that's, they're on the floor of that.
Well, can we leave it just now and come back maybe?
Right. We're delighted to see you again.
Thank you.
It can be 55 now and seal it.
Would you do that? Oh, that would be excellent.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's a lovely smile, that woman.
Yes, yes.
Good work from Paul there, closing the deal just as they were about to walk away. So, 2 buys apiece, and we have 15 minutes left. And, as sometimes happens at the fair, the teams are finding it hard to close in on the 3rd and final buy.
To be honest, what I don't like is that top silver doesn't match that silver, doesn't match that silver. It looks like 3 different shades of silvering.
That'll be a no then, Stuart.
It's easy to blow money on jewellery.
I
Yes,
know.
I know.
I say blow money,
I know.
that terminology is all wrong, isn't it? Invest frugally.
Invest frugally.
It's gorgeous.
It's a
I've got a
cigarette
feeling
case,
that's
which-
going to be really expensive.
230.
It's absolutely superb.
Well, I've got nice taste.
I'm upping this for myself. This is more fun than I think I've had in years.
Catherine!
Come on, teams. We need to buy, not browse. Tick-tock.
Is that a salmon?
That's a leaping salmon, isn't
A
it?
leaping salmon, isn't
In
it?
bronze, do we think?
Just a bit different.
I think it's really elegant. I'm not sure
Sure.
it's ancient.
No, it's
And it's
100.
125 minutes. And frankly, for a bronze sculpture, it's not a lot of money. But
No.
if you don't have a sculptor, if you don't have antiquity, what do we
no.
have to hang our hopes on at auction?
Yes.
That's my
Right,
concern.
Paul, yeah.
Is there a lifeline here to throw us?
65.
What do you think?
Not for me.
I would like to buy it.
Stop her.
You've done very well at 65. Yeah.
Margaret, I think we should move on.
We should move on.
Move on and let's have a look.
Okay.
And while the Blues move on, the Reds have gone to the Dogs again.
He's having a scratch.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
Yes. Nice, good detail, that.
Nicely modelled, isn't it?
It
But
is.
it's brass, not bronze.
Yeah.
If you saw that at auction, would you buy it?
No, because this detracts from it. It's too heavy for the greyhound on the top.
And all of this larking around with dogs means the Reds are starting to run out of time.
Right, we've got 5 minutes. I think what we should do is find a stall and buy
And blitz
from
it, yeah.
And the Blues need to make a decision.
The kettle.
The spirit kettle, the
kettle.
electroplate
The
spirit kettle, which Ina is a fan of,
I'm a fan of, and the fish.
and the bronze fish, which is Margaret's.
What do you want to do?
I would rather go for the kettle than the
Yes.
fish. I know,
Will it make money, do you think?
yeah, I think it might.
Go for the kettle.
Go for
you
the
want
kettle.
the kettle.
Go for the
Sure.
kettle.
That's it. Yes.
Sure.
Yes, take your advice.
A fish is going to haunt you in your dreams.
I'll come away. My husband might come back and buy the fish.
We better run and see if it's there. Come on.
Yes, yes.
And as the Blues jog off in search of the kettle, the Reds are starting to panic.
You look there, we'll look here, and we'll decide. I think we should leave him to his own devices.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Poor old Stuart being left on his own. Now, Blues, where's that kettle?
I think I can see it.
I think I can see it as well.
Yes.
Hello there, sir. We're back.
We're back. Yes.
Remind us, how far south did we get on the spirit kettle? Was it 40?
Yes, I can do it.
That's
I
what
can
we
do it.
said.
Oh, I'm delighted.
Is that mutual signs of
Yes,
relief?
I'm delighted.
I mean, it's a nice
Thank-
item.
Isn't it? You've a deal.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Ladies, Margaret.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Wonderful.
That's it. Thank you, Paul.
Hi.
That was nice.
That was a journey and I loved it.
Thank you.
With the kettle bought, that's it for the Blues.
Soften her up over the fish. The fish is history.
fish is gone.
We're never going to mention fish again.
And with time almost up, Stuart has spotted something sparkly. But can he convince the girls?
So we got citrine,
Citrine.
Victorian brooch here. Is it silver? It looks like it's silver.
1850.
Is it marked? It looks like there's a few repairs gone on this.
Is it?
How much is on it?
£45.
We've got to buy it. We've got no time. We have 1 minute.
What do you think,
£45.
Nicola? It's up to
Well, it's
you.
not what do you think. We've got no time.
No, we buy it because of the time. Go and check his
Okay.
hand. Quick, run and check his hand.
Gosh. And as we move into the final seconds, Stuart needs to sprint to close the deal in time.
You said 45, just so that if there's a £1 profit, will you do it at 44 for me?
Yes, well, that's pushing it, but I'll
No,
do it.
it's just in case somebody says we'll go to 45, but it at least leaves a £1.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
Thank
pleasure.
you. You're a gentleman.
And that's the full hour, folks.
Drives you mad after a while, this bargain hunting. Time's up. Let's check out what the red team bought, eh?
For the clay pipe with the bowl in the shape of a boxer dog, they boxed clever and paid just £5. For the Highlander harmonica, they had to fork out a few notes, £24 paid. And for the silver and citrine brooch, they spent a sparkling £44, leaving Catherine a stonking £227 of leftover lolly.
OK, you lovebirds. How'd you get on?
We had a fantastic time, thank you very much, Tim.
Which is your favourite piece?
My favourite piece is the one I bought first of all, which is a little, broken clay pipe with a dog face.
OK, that's your favourite.
I would agree with Nicola.
And which piece is going to bring the biggest profit?
The little dog pipe.
The little dog pipe.
Yeah.
I think the little dog pipe.
Good. Now, Catherine, here's a pile of money there, which is absolutely fab.
Super, thank
and
you.
on this special occasion, I'm going to give you the additional £100 bonus buy
Lovely.
money.
Expensive
So
taste.
you have got a huge amount of cash
I
there.
have.
And what I love, darling, when you've shopped, is to bring the items back and let's have a chat about it.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Now, go and relax up, and
Okay.
we're going to go and check out what the blue team bought, aren't we?
For the mahogany cutlery tray, they forked out £45. For the George V novelty golfing spoons, they dished out £55. And finally, for the Edwardian silver-plated kettle, they poured out £40.
Well, everybody's looking very smiley here, Paul. So, Max, tell me, darling, which is your favourite piece?
I think the spoons, the silver teaspoons.
And which is your favourite piece?
I like the wooden cutlery drawer or holder.
That's your favourite. Is that going to bring the biggest profit?
Well, I think so.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think the silver spoons might.
Okay.
may bring
Going to
profit.
dig in there, aren't you?
Yes, I
Okay,
like
lovely.
it with the
Anyway, you had a good time, which is the main
Yes,
thing.
I thoroughly
And how much
enjoyed
did you spend?
£140.
Please may I have the 160 leftover lolly?
Yes, love.
Well, that's really super, isn't it? And the big thrill is now, of course,
Yes,
what
that's it.
will Paul Laidlaw find to spend your £160 on?
Well, yes.
And we have a second wonderful moment because I'm going to give Paul an additional £100 of leftover lolly,
Oh,
especially for
right.
him to find a second bonus buy. Just one thing I ask you, Paul, is when you found your items, if you bring them back to me and we'll have a little look, okay? Anyway, relax up, girls. Good luck, Paul.
Right, bonus buy time for Catherine, and remember, she needs to buy not one but 2 items. And her team will decide which one they want if they decide to go with a bonus buy at auction.
I can just hear Stuart saying no to everything that I pick up.
Well, let's hope not. Now, first up, it's the regular team bonus buy, and she's got a big fat wad of leftover lolly, £227.
Hi, you had a letter opener earlier. A Mary Queen of Scots.
It was,
Have you still got it?
I do, yeah.
Fabulous.
With its little thistle.
I like this. I like the wood. Is it pear wood?
Well, Mary Queen of Scots stayed in this house in Jedburgh in 1566 for 4 weeks, and the house is surrounded by pear trees.
Right. It is engraved. That looks like it's all in Latin. Then the other side it says, from her Jedburgh garden.
It's obviously a tree that was around when she was there, that's been taken down probably 100 years ago when somebody's carved this letter on it.
So we're thinking this was made turn of the century, I would have thought.
Turn of the century, possibly even back as far as 1860 odd.
I like the feel of it. I think it feels wonderful. How much?
There's 95 on the ticket, but I know you're not going to pay me that.
Can I give you £50 for it?
It's the end of the day, yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Are you happy with that?
I am.
That's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, because I think my team will be absolutely delighted with this.
They should be. I love it.
I hope so.
Now Catherine's on the hunt for her special £100 bonus pie, and I've just found something that's pretty as a picture, and it might just help her out.
Now, Catherine, darling, tell me, how are you getting on with all these bonus buys?
I don't mind telling you, Tim, this is no easy task. This extra one is pretty hard.
You got one already?
I've got one already. It's just this extra one.
Well, listen, I just want to slip this by you because I shouldn't really do this, and don't tell Paul, all right? But I found this little watercolour. What do you think about it?
My first thing is, I think it's very sweet. And who's this down the Craig Lockhart?
That's a little place 5 miles from here on the outskirts of Edinburgh. What I can't do is to make out the name of the artist, can you?
Arthur Black or somebody. But it's painted in 80, so I'm guessing 1880.
Exactly right.
It's lovely, isn't it? I think it's quite rustic, and I just think the little red roofs are quite sweet.
I know, and a few Scottish hills. Anyway,
So
I've found it. I've paid for it. If you want it, you could have it maybe as an additional bonus buy if you're a bit stuck.
How much?
£20.
No.
Yes.
Where did you find it?
Just down there.
I will have this. No question there, Tim.
Always nice to do a good turn for an old mate. And now let's have a proper look at both buys.
Well, isn't that lovely?
What do you think of that? What do you make of
Well,
that?
it's a queer old thing, isn't it? Fruitwood. Nice colour. Very Scottish. With a wee heart in it.
I know.
I think that's charming, actually.
I love the fact that we've got the iris on one side, we've got the heart, and then the other side is decorated with the thistle.
Yeah.
It's quite charming, isn't
Yes,
it?
I've fallen in love with it. How much do you pay?
50.
That's a speculative job, isn't it?
I know.
It's a nifty 50.
Could go either way.
Yes.
I'm hoping it doubles.
Yes. Well, my hope is that it'll double too. I mean, find another one, quite frankly.
absolutely.
I've never seen the like, and I think it's charming. OK, £50 paid. Now, this is our friend, isn't it, over
Yes.
here? Do you like it? I mean, you're not being nice to me, are you?
I'm
Just
not
saying,
being nice to you at all. I have really warmed to this. I think it's tremendous. I think
good.
it's a great thing.
Well, we know it costs £20, and we
Nothing.
know that it needs the research done by Anita's lot to try and find the artist's name, and that is what the value will hinge on. It's a Scottish painting in Scotland, so it should do pretty well.
I cannot believe you paid £20 for it. It's an absolute steal. You've got to put 60 to 80 on it, haven't you?
Well, 50 to 70 anyway, something like that. I'm in there at 40 to 60 or 50 to 70.
It's a delight.
If you then said to me which one is going to bring the biggest profit, I have a funny feeling that the painting might bring the biggest profit because it's such a cheap base price. Not that you might not get £30 profit out of this and make £80 of the paper knife. That is a perfect possibility. But you might just as well make £80 of that, and that only costs £20, in which case you're going to make £60 worth of profit.
That is a charming thing. I think we'll do very well with that.
Well, let us hope so. Anyway, I wonder how that poor man, Paul Laidlaw, is getting on out there.
Poor Paul has actually got £160 of leftover lolly for his regular team bonus buy, and he's got an arty, crafty plan.
I would love to buy the ladies some jewellery. And I think I've maybe found something that, I don't know what the taste is, but I'm hoping they like it. Well, let me tell you why I like this. Ruskin Pottery is set up in 1895, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Named after Ruskin, the art critic, art historian, social thinker, really important man. And of course, he's key in the evolution of the concept of the arts and crafts movement. Ruskin Pottery are famed for production of novel glazes. And this is a great example. It's a fabulous ceramic bauble set in an arts and crafts inspired pewter body as a brooch. And a splendid big example it is too. Hope the ladies like it. The ticket price is 65, but I've been told it can be bought for 35. And I like the sound of that very much.
He's sounding cocky, isn't he? Now Paul is after his special £100 bonus buy, and he spotted something sporty and a tad controversial.
This is a mid-19th century goblet. Faceted stem, round funnel bowl, plain foot. That's the technicalities over. But, rather gruesomely, it depicts cockfighting. And here we have two birds attacking one another, and the end result was one proud cockerel astride the dead body of its opponent. That is a window into this, thankfully bygone, offensive sport. And as such, arguably a rather interesting piece of social history. The price today is £45. If you're not offended by it, and you see it as rather a scarce Victorian commemorative goblet, I think it could be worth double that or more. That is a deal.
And now, time to have a quick squiz at Paul's two bonus buys.
This is the team's bonus buy?
Yes, it is.
Looks like Ruskin.
It is indeed.
Ruskin. Potty little Wolverhampton firm. I mean, not in business for long, were they?
Late 1890s to about 35, wasn't it? Mid-30s. My favourite story about Ruskin pottery, might be a myth, is that when the firm was wound up in 35, they burnt the formulae for all the glazes. So they deliberately, so that they couldn't be reproduced. Really? It could be a myth, but I like it nevertheless.
Yeah, good story, that. I didn't realise that. So this Ruskin brooch, it's sort of stamped out white metal, isn't it?
Yeah, pewter, I would guess, yeah.
And then they've taken these discs, which are high-fired.
Yeah.
And attractive because of the colouring.
That's what it is. Yeah. And really, you know, you've seen one, you've seen them all. You'll spot them at 100 yards. Yeah. These distinctive cabochons. Rather a large specimen.
So how much do you pay for that?
£35.
Is that all?
It should be easy, shouldn't it?
I don't know. What do you rate them at? £60?
Yeah, I'd be happy
Would you? Yeah, well, I'd be happy at that. Will it make £60?
Yeah, I think it might.
OK, fine. That's that then for the team's bonus buy, and this would be the special £100 bonus buy.
I think it might be reasonably special as well.
So we've got a faceted stem.
Yes.
Which is usually a bit of a Georgian-y sign, isn't it?
Not so in this instance.
No, because it's a 19th century glass, isn't it? Yeah. It's a 19th century glass that's copying a Georgian faceted stem.
Absolutely.
Lovely big broad foot. This is not a glass that's going to tip over in a hurry, is it? So, you know, the design's nice. But then we got this stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you pay for that £50?
Got that for £45.
£45.
Yeah.
Well, it's in good nick. Find another acid-etched and wheel-engraved wee glass like that. Good. Right. I'm going to plump that the cock-fighting glass is the thing that's going to bring you the whack of profit. And maybe the teams, if they decide to go with them. Thanks very much, Paul. Meanwhile, we're heading off to the smoke. We're going to London, where we're going to go to the Military Museum at Woolwich. Boom, boom. Do you know why the Arsenal Football Club are called the Gunners? Well, apparently the club started just up the road here in a pub in Woolwich. And you don't need to look very far around here to make the connection with guns, because this is the Woolwich Arsenal, where they produced thousands of barrels for cannon and millions of rounds of ammunition until they packed up shop in 1994.
The Royal Artillery dates to 1716, when the Duke of Marlborough persuaded King George I to establish two permanent companies of field artillery. They were stationed here at Woolwich, enlisting 100 men each. In the 20th century, as World War I spread throughout Europe, the Royal Arsenal expanded steadily, and at its peak it employed 80,000 people, more than the capacity of Arsenal's football stadium today.
Part of this site has been redeveloped as Firepower, the Museum of the Royal Artillery. As you can imagine, the collection of guns and rockets on display here is vast. Actually, over 80 field pieces, some of which date back to as early as 1340.
And in the 14th century, as guns first appeared on the battlefield, they immediately changed the way warfare was conducted forever. Firepower's collection charts the progress of artillery through the centuries.
And we're going to start off with this gun, which dates from the Civil War period, so mid-17th century. It's called a falconet because it fires a shot which is roughly the weight of a falcon, that is, about a pound. Trotting along, we come through to the 1750s with this gun, which is called a galloper. Called a galloper because it's now mounted on an extremely mobile carriage, enabling the artillery to trot or gallop this gun wherever support is needed for the troops. Next, we have a relic from the Indian Empire. This is called a Mysorean cannon because it comes from the state of Mysore and is effectively loot. Having defeated Tipu Sultan, this cannon was seized and then remounted on a British carriage. And it's a very beautiful example, I think. And lastly, in this little run, something else from Tipu Sultan, a mortar cast in solid bronze. Tipu Sultan was known as the Tiger of Mysore, and therefore, not surprisingly, this thing is cast in the form of a tiger. I love his totos, the fact that this enormous mouth is cast with teeth as if his jaws are open. Not apparently incredibly effective as a piece of artillery, but it made the most incredible bang when it was set off to scare everybody. It's a question of shock and awe.
Early guns were beset with problems like recoil, loading speed and accuracy. Through the 18th and 19th centuries, technology steadily improved, and by the First World War, the problems were mainly ironed out. I'm meeting curator Mark Smith to learn more about the biggest artillery battle of all time.
This is the British 18-pounder quick-firing field gun. This is the standard British field gun from the First World War. Made over 10,000 of these here at the Royal Arsenal.
You jest.
No, not at all. Absolutely the iconic gun from the First World War. And by the end of the First World War, 11th November 1918, had fired just about 100 million rounds of 18-pound ammunition towards the
So this
enemy.
is the major tool in the First World War, then?
Absolutely.
And did it go on much after the First World War?
Yes, as a gun itself, slightly different carriage. It was still being used at Dunkirk in 1940. So a real mainstay of the British Army's artillery throughout the First World War, the 20s and the 30s.
It's been a real treat, thank you. And I think the big question now is, over at the auction, just how explosive are things about to become?
So we're back off to Scotland, to Glasgow, to meet Anita Manning at Great Western Auctions.
Anita, how are you?
I'm great, and welcome to Scotland.
Now, the Reds, they've gone for a curious mixture. First of all, this clay pipe bowl. That's odd, isn't it?
The thing that makes this one interesting is the fact that the dog's face has been moulded on the bowl of the pipe.
Yeah.
And I like that.
You do? What's it worth?
I put around about 10 to 15 pounds.
You are such a generous girl, I tell you. They pay £5.
Oh, that's okay.
Will they get a profit on that? They should. Good. Next up is the Highlander harmonica. Not very old, that thing, is it?
No, it's not, but it's an interesting thing. This harmonica has been specially tuned so that it can accompany or it can play with bagpipes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Gosh. What's it worth?
I've estimated this 30 to 40.
£24 paid.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good, isn't it? And lastly is the citrine and silver brooch. That, I guess, is Scottish.
Yes, it is. And it's a nice Victorian example. I particularly like that very pale citrine. It gives it a subtlety.
What's it worth?
40 to 60.
£44 paid. So I think it's an interesting trio. Costs them only £73 for their 3 items, but I think there's potential for profit there. Whether they'll need the bonus buys or not is debatable, but let's go and have a look at them. Hi team, this is exciting, isn't it?
It is.
You spent the miserable £73. You gave Catherine Southern £227. Catherine, what did you spend it on?
I bought something a little bit unusual.
Yes.
I bought you a paper knife.
All right.
But I don't think it's an ordinary paper knife, because if you look very closely, Jedburgh,
yes.
Mary Queen of Scots. Now, this could have been made from a pear tree, perhaps, in Jedburgh Gardens. So maybe like as a souvenir. It's not as old. It doesn't date back to Mary Queen of Scots. It doesn't date back to the 16th century. But it's an arts and crafts piece. It cost £50.
So how much do you reckon it's going to make?
I can see a lot of people getting interested in this because of the Jedburgh connection.
So that's the team's bonus buy. The special bonus buy is watercolour.
Oh.
Look at that.
That is lovely.
Craig Lockhart is the scene, done by a watercolourist, an amateur hand. Catherine decided to go with this for £20.
£20.
I just think the colours on that are really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got to be worth £50, isn't it?
Not to me.
Not to you.
We're not selling this very well, are we?
Well, you see, to me it is.
You do not think that that's worth £50? I do.
Can we have an argument, a discussion about it now, please?
Happy days, then. But right now, the auctioneer, Anita Manning, is going to tell us what she thinks about Catherine's bonus buys. We've got the letter knife for the team's bonus buy, and that's the special bonus buy, the wee watercolour. Now, what do you make of that, Donnie?
I think that this is a lovely little item. Now, we know that Mary Queen of Scots visited Jedburgh in the 1500s, and we know that the house that she stayed in had a pearwood garden. So I think that we have a lovely association there. I mean, this isn't 500 years old.
No. I mean, they've chopped the tree down and in the 19th century made it into a wee letter knife and inscribed it, which is charming. What's your estimate?
£50 to £80.
OK, well, Catherine paid £50 for it, so that's pretty good. And this is the special bonus buy, which I have to say I found for her. Have we discovered anything about the artist? Who is the artist?
The artist is Arthur Blackwood. Unfortunately, not a listed artist, but what I would call a good Sunday painter, a good amateur painter in 1889.
I guess because it's by an unknown hand, it probably doesn't have a great value then.
25 to 40.
OK, well, I found it for £20. We rated it, but actually it looks as if the paper knife is likely to be the favourite in the auction. Anyway, that's it for the reds. Now for the blues. First up is their cutlery tray, which is handy, isn't it? You put napkins in it, cutlery in it, whatever you like, really.
Good functional item. It's quite a nice item as well, with this fretwork here and in the centre with the carrying handle.
OK, so how much?
40 to 60.
OK, £45 paid, so that's good. Then we've got the golfing novelty teaspoons. How popular are they today, these things that relate to golf?
Scotland loves all things associated with golf, because really Scotland was the birthplace of golf. I like these ones in particular because they have, the finials are these little lofting irons.
Right.
And I think that's rather nice.
How much?
50 to 80.
OK, £55 paid, so that's on the right side too. And what about the spirit kettle? I mean, not something that anybody these days would ever use. You'd have it on the sideboard, bit of a bore to clean, but it's got some nice features, hasn't it?
That's right. I mean, you've got this lovely cane handle. I like that. And it sits in this smart basket with lovely little feet. It's a bit sort of mixture of different styles.
You want it to be in silver, really, don't you? How much?
20 to 40.
They paid £40. So if there's going to be a dark hole into which they plunge, the kettle will be the point of entry. And if they don't do well, they'll need one or other of their bonus buys, so let's go and have a look at them. OK, girls, this is fun. The reveals. Look, you gave Paul Laidlaw £160 of leftover lolly. Paul, what did you spend it on? The team's bonus buy.
This is it, Margaret. Ina, I think this is made for you, but I could be wrong.
Oh, yes.
I was right.
Oh, yes. Gorgeous.
There's a name that we associate with these, and it's Ruskin, Ruskin pottery.
Oh, yes.
Named after the great art critic, of course. Dates to 1920s, 1930s.
Yes. I love the colours. That's my colours.
Blue, of course.
Yes,
the blue team, blue.
I love the colours.
I think it's lovely too. Nice to be born as a brooch. Yes.
I spent £35.
Oh my word!
Oh well, you see. Yes.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anywhere, it's worth £30 to £50. Here today, I think it's worth 40 to 60.
Ooh.
Okay, well, there we got the lowdown on the team's bonus buy. Now we have the special bonus buy.
Yes.
The extra £100 that Paul Laidlaw was given to find something special for this programme. The special bonus buy is... Ta-da!
Oh, very nice.
There you go, Paul. Tell us about it.
Oh, I like that too.
It is a goblet, but it's the wheel cutting that makes it special,
Yes.
albeit it's tainted.
Yes.
Cockfighting.
Ah, right.
Cockfighting. It's a rare memento of those times and that sport. I paid, and I think this was a gift, £45.
That's a good.
Do you think we'll make much profit on that?
That could do 3 figures.
You've got a big decision ahead
We
of you
certainly
because you
have.
like both of
I
them.
know.
But you won't get your opportunity to pick until after the sale of the first 3 items.
All right.
And then you'll get your chance.
Yeah,
You'll have to
very
stand
excited.
by.
This is very-
Because right now, let's find out what the auctioneer thinks about Paul's bonus buys. There's the team's bonus buy and the special bonus buy. What do you make of the Ruskin brooch?
I think it's quite a nice thing. It's the type of thing that the Glasgow punters like, very arts and craftsy. In fact, it may even have been something that was made in evening classes in Glasgow School of Art. My estimate is 30 to 50.
£35 is paid. Now, the bonus buy that I backed is the engraved glass in Georgian style. Do you like it? How do you rate it?
Yes, I do. You can't help liking the quality of the engraving on this glass, and I'm sure that that will be appreciated.
OK, so £45 Paul paid for that. What sort of estimate can you put on it?
40 to 60.
OK, well, it's in the lap of the gods as to which one will do best. It just depends on your skill on the rostrum, Anita.
I will do my best for all of the items.
That's undoubted.
60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Stuart, next, you OK?
I'm perfect.
Fine, thank you.
So how's the wait for the auction served you? You feeling a bit nervous, Stu?
Not really nervous, just worried.
Are you? What you worried about?
The brooch.
Are you? Why are you worried about it?
I just think it was a little bit dear.
What, at £44?
Yes.
The auctioneer, she's put 40 to 60, and she really loves it.
Good.
So you've got nothing to worry about,
Fantastic.
matey. You can relax. First up is the old clay pipe bowl, and here it comes.
The 19th century clay pipe bowl with the front modelled as a boxer dog with a very strange expression on its face. £30 for the novelty pipe. 30, 20, £20 for all that fun. £10. 10 bid. With you, sir, at 10. Any advance in £10? Any advance in £10? All done at £10. £10.
I think it's Johnny Jenny. Plus £5.
This is quite an interesting item. It's a Honer Highlander double-sided harmonica tuned to accompany traditional Scottish and Celtic music with the bagpipes. And as you know, gentlemen, every girl loves a guy who can play the harmonica.
Really?
£50. 50. Start me at £20. 20 bid. Any advance in 20? 30. Ooh. 40.
Well done.
50. Well done at £50. Any advance in £50? £50.
Thank you! I don't know you, but thank you.
Lovely little piece of Scottish Victoriana, ladies and gentlemen. Little 19th century silver and pale and subtle citrine brooch. £80. 80. 60. Start me at £20. 20 bid. With you, madam, at 20. Any advance in £20?
A bit sticky.
20. 30. 40. 50.
There you are.
50 with
Worry
me.
no more.
Any advance in £50? £50.
£50 is good enough. Plus 6 equals plus £37. Your total is plus £37. What do you want to do about the bonus buys?
We don't know yet.
Choose it.
Choose it.
Ooh, you got it worked out.
Democracy.
Ooh.
Democracy. There you go.
I'll do it. Oh.
Opener.
The letter opener.
The letter opener.
That's it. Well, that really is a lottery, isn't it? That
It
one.
is.
£50 paid. Okay.
Right.
Anita's estimate is £50 to £80. So she's reckoning it'll make a profit. Back to your pick. The team's bonus buy is the chosen bonus buy. The other bonus buy, the lovely watercolour provided by moi of Craig Lockhart Castle, will be sold for charity. So if it makes a profit, that goes to charity. But your pick is the letter opener, and that's the first item up.
This Arts and Crafts Pearwood letter opener with the inscriptions for Mary Queen of Scots there, ladies and gentlemen. £100, £100, £50 then. 50, start me at £30.
Oh dear.
Start me at 30, 30 bid. Any advance in 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
Me out of trouble.
£70. Any advance in £70? £70.
£70 is plus £20, which means overall you are plus £57. Will that be a winning score? Anyway, you didn't select the other bonus buy, the special bonus buy, which we're going to sell now, and if it makes a profit, it goes to charity.
Watercolour of Craig Lockhart Castle and Hill, as it was at that time and no longer is. It's a wee thing of historical interest. £80, 60. Start me at £30, 30 bid. Any advance in 30? 40. Nope, it's with the gentleman at 40. Any advance in £40? Any advance in £40? £40.
£40 then is plus £20. I had to make a suggestion as to which is going to bring the biggest profit. I selected the watercolour, which made exactly the same profit as the letter opener. So we're quits on that. Anyway, the £20 will go to charity, so well done for that, Catherine. 2 very nice bonus buy profits. You're plus £57. Don't say a word to the Blues. Lips are sealed. And all will be revealed later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
OK, Margaret, Ina, have you found out how the Reds got on? No, good.
No
we don't want
idea.
you to either. Anyway, first up then will be the cutlery tray, and here it comes.
This fine 19th century, it's a Georgian 2 division mahogany cutlery tray, nice antique item. Bids on the books, I'll start the bidding at 40, 50, 60. On 60. The books it's 60.
Look at
It's on the books, on commission bids it's £60. Any advance in 60? Any advance in £60? £60.
Well, that's marvellous. Plus £15, straight up.
A set of 6 George V golfing spoons, Hallmark for Baker Brothers, 1913. Can we say £100? 100. 80. Start me at £50, ladies and gentlemen. 50 bid. 60, 70, 80, 90. 90 at the back. With the gentleman at £90.
Yes.
100 on the phone. 110, 120, 130.
Oh, that was...
130. Are you a golfer, sir? 130. Any advance in 130? All done at 130, 130.
Oh, yes.
That's 60. You just made £75.
The Edwardian silver-plated tea kettle, can we say £80? 80. Start me at £40. £20 then. 20 bid. 30 on the other phone. 40. 50.
Yes, yes, yes.
60.
Oh, that's fantastic.
70. No. It's on the phone at £70. All done at £70. £70.
Yes.
Oh,
There you go, look. That's a profit of £30, which means overall you are plus 120. How good is that? He made a profit of £120. Now, chickens, what are you going to do about the bonus buys? Are you going to go with the Ruskin brooch, or are you going to go with the goblet, or are you going to go with nothing?
We're going with the goblet.
We're going to go with the goblet.
Are you going to go
We
with-
really liked it.
I had to make a prediction as to which piece is going to
Yes.
do well out of the 2 bonus buys, and I selected the cockfighting goblet.
Right, well,
So I'm rooting with you.
Oh, good.
But we are going to sell the Ruskin mounted brooch
Yes.
too, and if that makes a profit on £35, it'll go to charity. Okay?
Oh, that's good.
And the Ruskin brooch is first up.
the little arts and crafts Ruskin ceramic brooch, possibly made in Glasgow in the 1920s. I have bids on the books, and I'll start the bidding at £30, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's on the books, it's 60. Any advance in 60?
It's going to charity, so that's...
The Ruskin brooch, 65. Any advance in 65? All done at 65, 65.
That is plus £30.
Yes.
£30 for the charity. Thank you very much, Paul Laidlaw. Lucky Laidlaw. Now, the engraved goblet is your choice, and here it comes.
Facet stem glass drinking goblet. It's engraved with fighting cocks. Can we say £80? 80, 60. Start me at £20. 20 bid. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Any advance in 80? 90 fresh bidder. £90. Okay. Any advance in 90? Any advance in £90? £90.
£90, you double your money.
Well done,
plus
ladies.
£45. That is so good. So overall, girls, you are £165 up.
God.
£165. Isn't that amazing?
That is
Well, you've done very, very well,
Yes,
girls.
thank you.
Well, it's marvellous to be able to tell you that both teams have got golden gavels. Because both teams have managed to make a profit on every lot. So, there you go, you got yours. Well done.
Thank you very much.
That's perfect. That's good, well done. There you go,
Lovely,
Margaret.
thank
Pull it
you.
up, sweetie.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done, Nina. Thank you very
That's
much.
great.
So how about that? So it's just a question of the scale of the overall end result. And the team that's marginally behind in the overall score is the Reds. Yes. But you nevertheless go home with £57.
Thank you very much.
So that's 55 and a couple more. So a nice profit on everything. You selected the letter opener, which made a £20 profit, which is a top up. And thank you very much, Catherine, on the bonus buy front. Congratulations on all of that. And you guys are going to go home with £165.
Yeah, woo!
There we go.
Thank you.
There's your £165, which is brilliant. You had £120 in your own right, and then you got the additional £45 from Paul, thanks to the glass, which is a
Yes,
well
thank
selected.
you, Paul.
It made the maximum bonus buy profit, so you did the right thing in grabbing that. And overall, the charity will get a benefit of £50 thanks to the expertise of our experts in coming up with profits on the other bonus buys. So well done for that. That's pretty good, isn't it? Overall, it's been a splendid result.
Oh, absolutely.
And I congratulate you girls, because that's really good. In fact, join us.
Dreadful from the goalkeeper, and Chief Jacob put Dundee United into the Scottish Cup final. Meeting with it, Stevie May! St Johnstone, for the first time ever, they're through to the final of the Scottish Cup.
For the first time in its 140-year history, Dundee United will face St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup final. See all the action live Saturday from 1:15 on BBC One Scotland and on HD.
We need a small army if this is going to get done.
The team are back and facing some of their biggest challenges yet.
It's been a real struggle in these temperatures.
But it's priceless to them what they're going to get at the end of it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's going to give them their lives back. Thank you.
DIY SOS, The Big Build, continues Monday at 9 on BBC One.